This week we're back with Dennis Rogers as he explains the secrets of his super strength. You can be strong! These free beers courtesy of Loot Crate. Welcome to the show that's your one-way ticket to beer goggles. Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. Howdy, I'm your host, Brian Brushwood, and this week we are back with Dennis Rogers, who takes us behind the scenes and explains the fundamentals as to how one of his most dangerous, outrageous stunts work. I gotta warn you, this one's super dangerous, so I don't want you trying it at home. Even though you're gonna see me try it here. Don't do what Daddy does. Just go to bed. All right, so we just recently had Dennis Rogers come on, blow our minds with all of his crazy strength feats, and then solve, actually you didn't solve, it was the lovely Allison.
That's right.
That solved the crossword puzzle.
Pound for pound, the
smartest woman in the world.
That's
Congratulations,
right.
That's from Dennis.
Yes.
So now, I thought it'd be fun to actually learn, if not the actual mechanics of how one of your feats works, at least an overview of what it takes to actually achieve that level of greatness that you have.
Okay, it just takes a rag and a nail and a board, and in fact, maybe I could use those two stools.
Yeah.
Let me come over there.
Okay.
And let's turn them where they're facing each
Like
other.
this?
Yeah, yeah. And how about if I just put the board right here? Notice there's a lot of knots. One thing you want to do is avoid the knots, because it won't go through.
Nothing but knots all the way
Nothing
through the
but
middle.
knots. Okay, I have just a washcloth. There's nothing in it. And I'm going to take, I've got the nail. I'm going to take and I'm going to wrap this up.
So you just have a ball of cloth in your hand.
Right there.
That is like, dude, that's through an inch-plus board all the way through. Okay, now I understand you have alluded to me about the mechanics about how this works,
Right.
but first of all, eliminate the scam school thinking here. Number one, not a trick board, right?
Not a trick board. You
Not
want
a
to
trick
avoid
nail.
the knots, not a trick nail.
Okay, so but you were serious. That wasn't BS about avoiding the knots.
Right, and you want to make sure that you have a good grip on the nail so it don't shift in your hand.
Okay.
My arm, they checked it, it's traveling 68 miles an hour, and I'm actually slapping the board with 582 pounds of pressure.
That's unreal.
So it's the speed of me coming around, the force
Do
hitting
you have
it.
a favorite brand of nail that you use for this?
Let's just go to Home Depot, man.
Just like whatever. Okay, so what are the things that
no.
now you didn't wake up one day and just be all like, today I'm blessed with super strength and then do this. Like you over the years have to figure out ways to toughen up your fibers.
Yeah, you want to toughen the palm, and the main thing that causes everybody to fail is fear. They're afraid. They'll swing their arm around and they'll
pull back
just
a little
pull
bit.
back right at the end. Yeah.
And then so that's the biggest thing is just driving. It's like the karate chop thing where it's like
Right.
you just do like no backsies.
Yeah, you want to think down here, not up here. So you want to think about it coming through the bottom. You don't want to. People, most people will go, all right, there's the top right there. I got to hit that. You don't want to think that. You want to think, I got to go down here, you know?
Now, here's the thing. When you come down,
Right.
You could point to the fact that you have a rag all you want, but you still have a tremendous amount of, it's not just a case of the physical force, the velocity going forward.
Right.
You also have to, at some point, like your skin
You're
could
flattening your hand.
give way, and I mean, it could go through your hand, right?
Yeah, I was doing a show in California, and I had the board.
I love it. They're all like,
Okay.
I don't know where this story's headed, but it's not going to be pretty.
I wrapped it up. I had that board. I
Okay.
had a piece of plywood, and I had a frying griddle on top. And I'd done it many times. And I did just like this. I grabbed two stools.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't know is the two stools, because they were covered,
Yeah.
they had rubber that thick.
They had padding so that
Right.
you weren't able to, so like you came down with the force and
And
then this went down briefly
and recoiled
with it.
up. And it recoiled up. So what happened was when I hit it, the whole thing pushed down, recoiled up. I drove the nail and the rag completely through the back
Wait,
of my
the rag went through your hand?
So when I was done, the rag, only a little piece like this, not to gross y'all out, but only a little piece
Too
like
late.
this was sticking out of a hole. All right, and everything else was up under my skin, and it looked like I had a big wart like this. And then, so what they did is they they had to cut my hand right here and
Yeah.
cut through the rag, pull the rag, the nail out this way, and then pull the rag out because it was wedged in between the tendons and all. And so anyhow, you know,
so things you have to do. You have to. Can you toughen up your hand?
yeah,
over
yeah,
time?
you can toughen up your hand by just like that. You know, you just do it and pound it until it. Yeah,
Until it stops
yeah.
hurting.
But I mean, we really need to warn everybody. This really is dangerous. Even if I kind of came up with an idea on how I could get you to do it today.
Okay.
And I've never tried it before, but I came up with this idea.
I don't know if this is
still
a
dangerous.
sign, but
Yeah.
like the heavens have opened up, and it's like, this is a bad idea, Brian. It's a bad idea. Pew, pew, pew. Look, man, I ain't ashamed to admit it. I'm a total geek. Why else would I have a freaking replica Mass Effect gun sitting here in my labyrinth? Here's the thing, though. We have the most badass new sponsor, our friends over at Loot Crate. That's right, Loot Crate. Loot Crate is a service where for like less than $20 a month, you sign up and they send you sweet, geeky, awesome sauce every single month like clockwork. They got partnerships with Marvel, with Nintendo, Blizzard, all of your favorite folks. Let's take a look at what we got in here. First of all, magazine. It's called Cake because I assume this is filled with lies. We got Walking Dead figurines. Looks like I got one of 24 zombie walkers. Ugh. This is a freaking lanyard for Aperture Laboratories. I was just at freaking Dragon Con like 3 freaking days ago. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Boom. A caffeine power-up shirt. I go to Shirtwoot all the time. $5 off on Shirtwoot. Totally gonna use that. Freaking Aperture Laboratories temporary tattoo. Look, the point is, you get a mystery, and every so often, you can get one of the powered up ones where you get like $250 of loot in your loot crate. It just shows up magically, and you happen to be the lucky winner that time. If you dig that mystery when you're playing a video game of getting a power up and not knowing what it is you're gonna get, you can experience that in real life with a Loot Crate. Sign up right now. Head on over to lootcrate.com/scamschool. You'll get 10% off your first order. Most importantly, man, you'll be keeping us swimming in those free drinks. Let's keep that happening. Maybe I'll start a beer crate or a scam crate. Now we're talking. All right, before the heavens opened up and rained tears of warning upon us that this is a terrible idea, you had said that the way that you're able to do it is by, number one, conditioning, first of all, pure muscular strength. Number two, the psychological ability to not care that it's going to hurt.
Right.
And then finally, the last thing is you got to toughen up the tissue on there so that, because obviously at that moment you said what, 60 something miles an hour you're coming down?
68 miles an hour.
That's obviously, that's the same as having this thing be fired at you at 68 miles an hour and hitting that tissue, right?
Well, kind of, yeah. You're holding it in your hand and you're slamming your hand down with 68 miles an hour hitting the hand. So yeah, it can go through your hand.
No, but you were saying earlier today that there's a way for me to cheat and look like I'm doing something half as awesome as you are.
Yeah, and I really haven't tried this. I just thought about this.
It feels great. That's
but
great.
it's all right.
You haven't tried it. That seems like.
I thought about it because it's really common sense. The size of the head, the smaller the head is, the more dangerous it is. So if we made the head bigger without anybody knowing it, okay. And the way I was thinking about it is if we took a piece of tape, and we got a quarter,
right over there,
right here. Okay, we got a quarter, and if we take, let's see, the nail, and we kind of poke it through the tape here.
Seems totally.
All right.
Primo job.
Right, and if we were to take the quarter,
got some sketchy tape.
That's all right. You know what the heck? Yeah. If we were to tape the quarter on top.
All right.
Now see if this makes sense.
It's a terrible.
Yeah, this is. You got to be careful still.
This is
okay. Wrap that up.
We say don't try this at home, and we're kind of like wink, wink. This is not a wink, wink. This is like you may be about to be like, Brian's hands are now ruined.
Right. In fact, you know what? Yeah, all right, go ahead.
That does not inspire confidence.
Okay, go ahead. Well, this is a bigger nail than the other nails. I was just noticing.
You're such an ass.
But that's all right. You'll do it. I know you're going to do it.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I just noticed that, though. We just grabbed some nails, so.
You just noticed that. That's fine. Yeah, sure.
So I was thinking if you put the quarter in here.
Yeah.
You wrap it around, put your fingers, and then when you drive it, just pull back. The quarter will stay in your hand.
There you go. Okay, so it'll look like I drove it straight through.
Exactly. So you want to go ahead. It's in good position.
So I would just like to point out that we gave 3 things that make this work. You have to have the strength, which I don't. This changes nothing. You have to have the ability to tolerate the pain of slamming your hand down, which I don't. I'm still a a wiener. And then finally, the only thing you did is you taped a quarter to it.
Okay, one thing too is you want the nail straight. You don't want it, yeah, there you go.
This may be the worst idea.
Now remember to come around, not be afraid.
That's a terrible idea. All right.
And remember to pull.
How hard down? Like just 100%?
Yeah, 100%.
Just take the pain?
100%.
Hold on. This
Okay.
is,
Okay.
all right.
I don't know if alcohol and this goes good together, but we're gonna find out if you can do it. All right, there you go.
All right.
All right. Real hard. There it is. Do it, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. There it is. All right. There you go. There it is. Right through.
I'm going to the
no
bar.
quarter,
Screw you guys.
no quarter on the end.
That's huge. Now, it's no lie when we say this is dangerous. Dennis Rogers has performed this feat for 20 years and full-on injured the hell out of his hand, busted a hole right through it. So I do not want you guys trying this one at home. If you really do want to learn this and you really want to build up the skills of what it takes to do the feats that Dennis does, do me a favor, go to his website at dennisrogers.net. He really is the foremost teacher in the world for the stunts that he performs. Learn from the master, not from a chump like me. By the way, I want to hear about all your success stories and failure stories, so post them in the comments down below. I read all of that stuff. And we should be friends on Twitter, on Facebook, on Google+. It's @Schwood for all of that stuff. Hell, anywhere you want to find me, just look for Schwood, S-H-W-O-O-D. It's the last part of my last name. Easy to remember, right? And by the way, don't forget that we have tons of new stuff coming out all the time at scamstuff.com. Scam School is all about what you do at the bar. Scam Stuff is about what you bring to the bar. And speaking of which, right now at Scam Stuff, we have available the Scam School book, my first ever real-life, legit-ass published book. I'm so proud of it. Head on over to scamstuff.com and pick that up. And don't forget to join us next week because I'm going to remind you, hey, did you know that I have a published book? The Scam School book is out. I actually have a legit-ass publishing deal. It's amazing. Hey, sir, do you know about the Scam School book?
All right.
That was so stressful.
No quarter.
That was perfect. Very well
worked
done.
out good. See?
Awesome.
You didn't feel a thing, did you?
No, sure, let's say that. Look at that. What?
That's way through.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a spike. That's not just a nail. That's a spike.
That's true. Bigger than your
Yeah,
nail,
come on,
jerk.
jerk.